how dumb of me to think that they were still not going to bring out more characters in version 1.4, because we already have Dan Heng and Fu Xuan and Link's coming out in 1.3, which we're going to watch the stream tomorrow, so make sure to come by. But we also have Topaz and Numbi and also Jingliu coming out alongside a brand new 4-star character that they just announced today, who is going to be in the fire element with the nihility path. Now this is something very interesting in all honesty with her being in the nihility path, because not only does she have the potential to be added to a bunch of different teams, she could also have the potential to be very niche and be put on Kafka's team already, being along the road of how are we getting Kafka support this early, which is really good, to be honest, because there's nothing wrong with helping characters and helping their teams out, helping them do a little bit more, helping them get a little bit bigger in options, because there are situations where you can use certain characters over others, even in a team as niche as Kafka. So today we are going to be talking about this brand new character. No, I'm not going to pronounce their name, because not only could I not find the pronunciation online, I couldn't find a way to make it work with saying the name and it being smooth, so I'm just not going to say it at all. We're just going to talk about this character. This video is dedicated to her, so you know who we're talking about. So with her being in the fire element, for sure, fire element doesn't have that many characters, for sure, and with the fact that Topaz and Numbi are coming out alongside her, we're fleshing out the fire element a little bit more, making it a little bit easier for when these enemies do have that fire weakness. We're now having a little bit more options in regards to building teams and building characters that are going to be helping us take out those shields. And not only that, the break effect of fire is still really good because you do inflict burn, and we are going to be talking about that in a quick second. But it's nice to know that we're finally building out a lot of these elements. I think the only element, in all honesty, that doesn't have any love to it is Wind. Wind is severely lacking in options, in all honesty, because Sampo, you could quite literally take him out of that, I guess you say, Wind element, because he is really niche towards Kafka's team. Dan Heng is a DPS, Blade is a DPS, Bronya is a buffer. So we still don't have a tank, we still don't have a healer for Wind. So it's going to be a minute before we start seeing this team fleshed out and this element fleshed out. But for all intents and purposes, every other element does have something for them and is having basically their whole, I guess, team built around it. I'm not saying mono of a certain element is going to take over the game entirely, but it's nice that we have options in every single shape and form, having every role filled out for basically all these elements. Because imaginary, we already have our healer with Luocha, our support with Yukong, debuffer with Welt, DPS with Dan Heng, Quantum is the same thing, Sele, we already have her as the DPS, Silverwolf is the debuffer, Ching Chui is a sub DPS, and then we do have Fu Xuan coming out as preservation, which is our tank. And then we have Lightning. I think Lightning is one of the better, I guess you could say, mono teams overall. We have Kafka, we have Jing Yuan, Bailu, Serval, Ting Yun. There's a bunch of different options. Ice is going to be benefiting very well with Jingliu coming out as a DPS. We have Japard, Pella, Herda, March 7th, and then Fire, of course, Topaz and Numbi, the new nihility character, Asta, Himiko, Trailblazer, and then physical, they have a lot of really good options too. Natasha, Luca, Sushang, Trailblazer, and Clara. Basically, every element is built out except Wind, and it's really nice. I'm assuming in version 1.5, whenever that comes out in the far future, they're probably going to heavily invest in Wind, giving us a new 5-star for Wind, and maybe even a 4-star for Wind. That way we can basically get all the roles put out as we need it. Now, the thing we're going to talk about today is that this character is a part of the nihility path for Fire, and guess what characters we don't have when it comes to the nihility path, and that is going to be Fire. So this is something that is very interesting, not only because, as again, like I said, having more options in certain elements is going to help you take down these enemies with certain weaknesses, so this is good overall. But in all honesty, out of Pella and Silverwolf being the only characters right now alongside Welt are going to be debuffing enemies, actually lowering some type of stat on them, we don't have a burn nihility character. So this is something that is really interesting, because for Kafka's case, we already have Luca, who's really good for her Kafka's team. Not only does he re-trigger his own bleed, but he does add bleed through his skill. Same thing with Sampo, but Sampo has overall really good wind shear coverage from his normal attack, from his skill, from his ultimate, to being able to boost damage on his ultimate as well. Same thing with Luca. There's a lot of really good things coming out with Luca and Sampo. The only other element that doesn't have a nihility path character is going to be Fire. So we already have Shock from Kafka, Luca has bleed, Windshear has Sampo, and then for burn, well, we don't have an actual character that is in the nihility path. Yes, we have some certain characters like Asta, Himiko, Hook. These characters are able to burn through certain methods, but we don't have an overall nihility character. And yes, people might say, well, that's pretty much your burn character. Well, I don't know about all that, because Luca and Sampo are the dot characters for their elements, and for the most part, if you're going to be on Kafka's team, you're most likely going to be a nihility character. And with this character coming out, that is going to be Fire in the nihility path, this kind of screams Kafka support already, which is very exciting for people that have already rolled for Kafka. You're going to be getting I guess you could say, more coverage over the teams that you can run with her. You're going to be able to fight, you know, the enemies that have weakness to fire and lightning at the same time. There's a lot of different options, and you now have more variety for your team so that you're able to basically defeat any boss that you would like with any sort of dots that you want. Now you can run something crazy, which I probably would advise against it unless there's some way that this character can heal too, which I don't think that's the case, because if they could, they would be part of the abundance path. But imagine if this new character could heal with Kafka, Luca, Sampo, and then you have all 4 dots going in at the same time. That'd be way too insane, but most likely you are going to have to give up a spot for either Luca or Sampo to be taken out of the team, and then you'd have to put this new girl in. There's a lot of different things that we're gonna have to talk about when she comes out, but basically, better said, having this character come out with just a 5-star, we have no idea which banner she's going to be on, but as a 4-star, she's just definitely going to help us make a lot more decisions when it comes to taking her out in a team, when it comes to replacing Luca, replacing Sampo, because there are situations where you're not able to benefit from having these characters on your team, just because sometimes Sir Wolf is pretty much occupied by another team trying to take out that side of the Memory of Chaos floor. And then for Luca and Sampo, if they have a character where their shield doesn't get affected by wind shear or by bleed or basically physical and wind, then they're kind of dead weight. In all honesty, yes, the dot goes through the shield in all honesty, but having that break effect bleed or break effect wind shear is going to do some massive damage and something that's really good. So why not take out a character like Luca, like Sampo, and replace it with this brand new character that's coming out, and then she can break the shield, you know, actually with the weakness that she has, and boom, you have a really good team with Kafka. So I'm really excited for this character for sure to come out. It's just that with all these characters that are coming out in quick succession, I didn't expect them to announce another character alongside this patch. That kind of threw me off guard. That's why I made the video yesterday, because I thought that was pretty much it for the characters coming out. But nope, they went ahead and said, F y'all, we're going to be bringing out a fire nihility character that is most likely going to be paired up with Kafka. In all honesty, that would be really cool if she does have a burn type of playstyle. That way Kafka can, like I said, benefit from this greatly. For the people that haven't summoned for Kafka, maybe this is the, I guess you could say, a nudge in the right direction to be like, hey, maybe you might want to get Kafka, because yes, she is going to get support in the future. I'm 100% sure that she's going to get 5-star options in the future to help boost dot damage, to heal while doing dot or something crazy. They're definitely going to do it. They're going to make units around Kafka because they did put her in the game for a reason. That's to discover a whole new playstyle. So I do think this is really cool. And if not Kafka support, then we're just getting an overall another debuffer, which is going to help us lower the enemy's stats in some way or form. And we never know, she could be a skill point positive debuffer. She could probably do something really cool like decrease speed, attack, defense, disguise the limit with the possibilities that are in the nihility path. We have some crazy characters like Well being able to deplete their speed bar all the way to the bottom, so you get to have basically a whole round of turns for the enemy. We have Silver Wolf, as cracked as she is, and Pella being able to dispel buffs on the enemy and all that type of stuff, and AoE defense shred down. It's just all really good things with the nihility path. So I'm really excited for her to come out, not only because she has the possibility to be Kafka support, but also for the possibility that if she's not Kafka support, we just have another nice debuffer on the team, and we're also fleshing out the fire element as well. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I am super excited to see all of these characters come out and see what all of them do. But first and foremost, we have to remember that the stream is tomorrow, and tomorrow is about Dan Heng, Fu Xuan, and Lynx. Yes, we will have a video talking about all 3 of them. I will also have a video talking about which characters prepare for their teams and what artifacts, all that type of stuff that you need to know in regards to building them, having them on the team, all that type of stuff. Make sure to leave a sub and a like on the video if you're going to be ready for all that. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching the video. See you on the next one, and peace.